run roughshod over them. I'm sick and tired of it. And I'm going to spew the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. And the truth is you're monsters and you're murdering people. You sicken me. You're the slaver class. That's who you are. I know who you are if you're evil. Listen, we've all heard it said that if the shoe fits, wear it. Okay? Well, I say if the shoe doesn't fit, don't wear it. But I want you to feel the indignation that I'm feeling in having to have watched this thing unfold my entire life. I'm tired of it. Telling you that a rising cost of living is a good thing. That your money continuing perpetually to go down in worth is a good thing. And then we got this federal labor department who set the federal minimum wage. They didn't pull an arbitrary number willy-nilly out of the air. It was a careful calculation. Look into it. The market basket of goods. Those essential human needs must be calculated. What does it cost the average person to live a middle-class life? Okay, and they came up with a figure. You can look it up, labor statistics, what minimum wage started at. But it afforded you a given standard of living. Okay, and the Federal Labor Department had every reason in the world to come out in protecting the interests of the federal minimum wage worker and say, we are the stopgap. We are the checks and balances. We are the oversight and the accountability here. It's our job, our duty, our obligation to everyday American people to come out and say, look, here's why we're going to lower the wages. Yes, I said lower the federal minimum wage, okay? It's a two-way street, my friends. I want everyone to be very clear and understand the same stuff I do. Because if your cost of living is in decline for one reason, capitalism, supply and demand capitalism, and it happens organically, as we as a purportedly civilized society find easier and easier methods to produce all the things we first and foremost need: housing, food, potable water, energy, and then all the things we want, all the luxury items, knickknacks and trinkets and whatnot. Okay, that's it. We find easier and easier methods to produce those things, and we know we have. We're well into the industrial age now. Okay, we can stamp out houses. Okay, we could just like rubber stamp them out. Okay, like pancakes. We could provide all the things we need on the entire globe in plenty. Far better than we ever have been able to before in history at this very moment in time. And they're telling you that your cost has to go up. And you know it's going to stay up because of these delays at the docks and all this stuff. Like they couldn't have seen all this happening and coming. And what was going to, the cause and effect, the ripple effect of what they were doing, the chain reaction of what they were doing. They're manipulating us. You understand? They're manipulating markets. This is how the slaver class is operating in deep subterfuge. These are nefarious, sinister characters, and the effects of what they're doing are insidious on the population. They're dire. They're creating wanton, vast misery when they keep on making the nut harder and harder to crack, when they keep on making the bar harder and harder to reach to merely survive. You understand the effect that has on the people? You understand how easy it would have been to prevent this wealth imbalance that's happened and what I'm talking about here and how they've impoverished people and they need fresh blood to go after, so they need a larger and larger segment of the population impoverished. That's where they get their fresh blood from. They need somebody to put that national debt on their backs. And it's fallen on the backs of the people at the bottom rung of the economic ladder. That $30 trillion, while other people are getting richer, they're telling us about global warming and watching our CO2 footprint. And while we got Jeff Bezos and other people going out into space, how much fuel are they using? How much fuel? How many cars could be driven? For how long in America to pay for that fuel that they're using on the, what is it, $200,000 for a ride up into the upper atmosphere? And we're going to vaunt these people and promote this. And we're talking about global warming. God almighty. I mean, you see, if you don't think we're a sick species, my friends, you got to wake up and smell the rotting carcass, the maggot-ridden pile of you know what, dung. Okay, because that's what they've done to America, the beautiful. It's fallen. It doesn't help to deny that. I mean, denial. Not a river in Egypt. We're screwed. These people have screwed us. And we're in dire straits. We're in a lot of trouble. And our only hope is in God. And remember, I said I want to comfort and encourage people. And that help is there. For me as an individual, it's how I get by. Because you hear me, I'm outspoken. I'm outraged. I'm beside myself. I am very troubled. I cannot feel lucky because of my financial circumstances, which other people looking in would say, my God, the man's impoverished. He's delusional. What's he talking about? It's all relative. I'm not that poor soul out there suffering needlessly, sometimes dying out in the cold, while a society purportedly civilized is willing to pay almost $100,000 a year for criminals, rapists, murderers, child molesters to go to jail to be safely ensconced behind bars with 3 hots and a cot. All their utilities paid, their rent paid, medical paid, help reintegrating into society later. And a society that's paying $50 billion a year to subsidize housing costs for poor people, and all it's done is make the problem of homelessness work, unaffordable housing worse. Homelessness and unaffordable housing, it's made it worse, exacerbated the problem. And I'm supposed to shut up. I'm supposed to be okay. Go along my merry. Well, I'm okay. I'm getting by, and it's cool. Everything's cool with me. I don't want to be that person. I refuse to be that person. God's watching. I want God to watch. I'm an egalitarian to the core, man, to the bone. And I advise you to be one too. All it means is that you've looked through God's point of view and you said, yes, God, yes, I get it now. I see the light. I've been born again. And if I was you, I'd think the same way as you'd think. I get it. One family. We're brothers and sisters, equally beloved, precious treasure. And this world treats you like a warm body. You're uneducated. You're unskilled. Working in a factory, working on the farm. Low life. You deserve to be subjugated, cheated. You don't deserve a living wage, fair pay. You don't deserve to be able to get ahead. Didn't used to be like that in America. We're fallen. It's evil. The days are freaking evil. But these people know they're going down. They know, and it's going to happen through knowledge. They can't stop it. It's like a snowball. Okay, and it picks up momentum, and it picks up size, and it's just going to roll them over. They can't stop it. An unstoppable snowball of knowledge is how God's going to fight this final battle when his will is accomplished on earth. And it is going to be an egalitarian state of affairs. God's planet, we're God's equally beloved children. And if you were God, you'd do it the same way. You'd say, share, get along with each other. If you can all be prosperous, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's have prosperity. Let's have freedom, absolute freedom. Freedom is an absolute term. If you're not financially free, you're not free. All the other creatures on earth get to be free, but humans, oh no. Oh no, you got to pay. Of course, nothing's free in life. Tell that to any other creature. What a load. Yeah, friends, they've created a dystopia for us, and this is what they want because these people are miserable. I don't know who said misery loves company, but it sure rings true in this case. These are some miserable freaking little monsters. Like the snot-nosed, bratty, spoiled brat children that need to be disciplined, that have taken over the candy shop, and they're like, how are you going to stop me? Good luck. We got baseball bats. And we're doling out the candy now. We took it over. We appointed ourselves as the rulers of this thing. Tough. You might be smarter. You might be more blessed. And you might be the righteous ones. I don't care. Might makes right. Good luck. I don't know how you see, we're willing to subdue our conscience. We're willing to sell our conscience for a buck. Who needs a stupid conscience? While the righteous are sitting there with their boundaries looking all dumb. Oh, you goody two-shoes. You can't do nothing about it, can you? Huh? Well, we know. We got you. You're an idiot. You're a fool. If you value those eternal things like your stupid soul, your conscience, your integrity, your honor, your reputation. You're a dumbass unless you got on the bandwagon with us or you're willing to get on it with us. You're nobody. You're a loser. We're the winners. Look at us. We're the winners. We got all the money. We control the purse strings. Idiot. Yes, friends, we can trust God alone for any semblance of peace of mind right now. Okay, I guarantee it's the only hope. Prayer, praying for others, loving our enemy as best you can. And God knows, believe me, I'm as human as you. I know how hard it is to love your enemy. But this is the task. This is the cross for the righteous to bear. Try at least. You got to purify your own heart. You don't want them living rent-free in your head. So how do you do that? You get rid of grievances and resentments and all this crap, hatred. Okay, and you just say, God, please, I can't deal with these monsters. You're going to have to do something. Bring them to their face, God, please, for their own good, for their own salvation, because you don't want any of them to be lost. Okay, you do not delight in the destruction of the wicked, but wish all to come to repentance and be saved. Okay, that's what you want. You do not delight in the destruction of the wicked. And that must be our hearts too. We must be one and the same. And then nothing could stop you. You're invincible because you got God walking with you. You're not afraid of death. You're not a coward. You speak truth to power, and anybody else will listen. And you say, please, just like a little spark, like a drop in the bucket, but it adds up. And what a tiny spark it takes to ignite a forest afire, a huge forest. But we're doing that in reverse, and we're doing the good things. Ideas are bulletproof, and you can spread them, and knowledge is power, and you become God's friend and his servant by default, and then you become man's servant and friend by default. You understand? It's all part and parcel, and you're working together for your own sense of happiness through freedom and saying, I reject your world system. No, man, no other creature has this burden of a cost of living. Why do you keep telling me I do? And why do you keep telling me it's progress? That it keeps on getting harder and harder and the burden becomes greater and greater. That cost, that price, my loss of financial freedom becomes more and more acute and severe and dire. Why? How? You think I'm going to tolerate that and be part of this thing? Not me. I'm on record, not me. Are you on record, my friend? Be on record, please, for your own good, for your fellow human beings' good, for God's good, for all our good, your children's good, your friends, family, strangers, for all our good. All right, friends, I'm on to some recent current events from this last week and other talking points. You know, one thing I find insufferable is these news reporters with lilting voices, you know, where it fizzles out at the end of their sentence. It's like these people think they're poets. No, they're giving us the freaking news. They're reporters on the news. You're not a freaking poet. Okay, so knock it off. You sicken me. You make it so I just want to vomit on your face or punch you in the nose. Of course, I'm a pacifist, non-violent guy, so I won't do that. But if I inadvertently vomit in your face, then you know what? You understand. I can't stand it. Could you imagine before? Yes, so many people died in the war today. I was so sorry. Oh my God. Please knock it off. You're a news reporter, not a freaking poet. You know, this inference that it's the labor demanding more money. That's what's driving inflation, or in any way part of it. But you see, they can divert our attention to, well, the supply and demand issues. But of course, once those are resolved, then you'd see inflation go down, back down to where it was or below, right? Once the supply has been ramped up, we've got excess, a superfluity and abundance of all this crap. Why don't prices go back down? You know they're not going to let that happen. These are evil people, you understand, that want to stay in power, or they want to increase their relevance, not decrease it. And if prices are going down, if your money's going up in worth, and more people are realizing freedom and prosperity through that, you understand, then they're miserable. They want to be more relevant, not less. If you get a chance to listen to Bobby Charles sing Save Me Jesus, I highly recommend it. It's very apropos. I'm sure feeling that way. Save me from these miserable money lovers, man. Friends, I want everyone to just thank God for your boundaries. that you're not like these poor people, these poor souls, and that's how we got to feel about them, because they're not smart. They're idiots. I mean, if you're righteous, you're smart. You want peace and justice and fairness and all good things for all humanity, goodwill toward men, that attitude, that spirit. That's a godly instinct. That's a godly spirit. Okay, you're lucky to have boundaries. Yeah, I'm not saying you're perfect, and I'm not. Nobody is. No, anybody that says they're without sin, it's like Christ said, you're a liar. The truth is not in you. We're all sinners. I mean, it's just the way it is. We can't help it. It's just, it's in our nature, that human nature, the carnal nature. Okay, it's in our DNA. It's in our genetics because of the fall of man and the subsequent curse that befell the earth. All bad things.